The two sides in the case surrounding Jeffrey Dahmer are gathering information right now to prepare for the next step in the justice system. And joining me now to talk more about this is Dahmer's defense attorney, Jerry Boyle, and the prosecutor in this case, District Attorney Mike McCann. Gentlemen, thanks to both of you for coming in tonight. Mr. Boyle, let's begin with you. On Wednesday, when you made your first statement and relayed a statement from Jeffrey Dahmer, you said that he said that the system did not fail him, that he failed the system. Given what we know tonight, do you believe that personally?
Well, I think that the court, in sentencing Mr. Dahmer, gave a sentence that I consider was tailored to meet the problem that he was confronted with. He gave him a year in the House of Correction, an 8-year sentence, 5 years of probation. And the judge said, if I send you to jail, prison, you won't get the treatment you need. So the aim of the criminal justice system was to try and help Mr. Dahmer get out of the problem that he was confronting with at that time. Everybody tried to do it, and it didn't work. My client said that he's the one that failed, not the system. I have often said that going to prison for 2-3 years is a lot easier than spending a year in the House of Correction. That was not an easy sentence that he got. It was a difficult sentence, but he was somehow or another able to get through it without anything being discovered that caused him to have to go to the 8-year sentence that was hanging over his head. That's why Jeff Dahmer told me that the system didn't fail him, he failed.
I won't turn this into a debate. I don't intend to do so, but I would like to ask Mr. McCann a quick question about that. Your office did ask for substantial prison time for Mr. Dahmer in 1989 after the conviction in the sexual assault offense for, I believe, 5 or 6 years. Why did you feel that was necessary?
The assistant that was familiar with the case and had handled the matter felt that he should be in prison for 5 to 6 years and then probation to follow after that. The judge is an excellent judge. It's a tough call, and he made the call he made. But our recommendation had been 5 or 6 years in jail.
Mr. Boyle, let me go back to you and ask you about any further conversations you've had. And on the day of the news conference, you had mentioned that you really didn't have a long time to meet with Jeffrey Dahmer. Have you had a chance to sit down, spend more time with him, and how is he feeling right now?
I've been authorized to make certain statements by Mr. Dahmer, and those statements have been made. I am not authorized to make anything more, so therefore I'm stopped by privilege. It is starting tomorrow that I start doing my investigation of Mr. Dahmer and getting into details. I have not done that up to now. Mr. Dahmer today is continuing to cooperate with the authorities in trying to answer some questions that are still out there as to identity and things of that nature. And my associate was with him most of the day in that endeavor. So basically, that's the status of the matter as it is right now.
He feels it is important to continue his cooperation.
He told me that it was a time, as I said at the press conference, and now is the time to be honest, and I think that the police department would corroborate the fact that he has been cooperative.
Let me ask you about the investigation at this point. How is it proceeding for you? Are you able to prosecute a case successfully based on a confession alone, or do you need more than that?
Well, sometimes you can, sometimes you need more than that. In this case, there is definitely more than that. There's no question about it, you know, from what's recovered at the scene. I should say, Mike, and I'm required by the Wisconsin Supreme Court rules to mention whenever we I am specifically as a district attorney say that the charges are merely charges, accusations, and that he is presumed innocent until such time as a court or a jury should find otherwise. I must say that. But as you know, and I don't need to go into it, there's not simply a matter of statements that have been, and maybe I shouldn't even be speaking to those, but it's already in the public domain, obviously, a great deal of it. So that there is evidence to proceed, and we're proceeding.
And you were in Illinois today, and you have said in the past that you would go down there to talk with people who handled the John Wayne Gacy case. Why is that necessary?
Well, I thought it would be fruitful, and it was. I talked with Bill Kunkel and Bob Egan, who were gentlemen that I spent a number of hours with both of them, and it was time well spent.
Jerry Boyle, describe for me how Jeffrey Dahmer's father is doing now. He called into a talk show. He granted an interview with the Milwaukee Sentinel and Bill Jans. Describe how his mind is at this point in time.
He's in a severe state of depression. He is hurting very badly for himself, for the victims, for his own immediate family. And obviously, he realizes now how sick his son was. They're his words. So the man, obviously, the only thing that could be comparable to the concept is the death of a loved one.